Better Education for Future Americans organization fights for every American student's education because the way to a highly developed society starts in the classroom. Companies want our young adults ready for work fresh off college, but this isn't always the case. What is the point of a K 12 education if it doesn't deeply develop social, academic, and even artistic abilities by the time students have to be ready for the quote unquote real life? Our biggest goal is to give the parents and the student the option of which school they can go, instead of simply being assigned and forced into their district school. Schools should be able to compete and offer quality options for their students, and if they're not able to recruit, they run out of business. Countries like Belgium and Finland already use this method and stand top 10 in education system rankings. Americans are suffering the consequences of the US and its stubbornness to make deep reform. Every American citizen should have an access to a good education, not just because it's their right, but because good education is necessary to continue building our country for generations to come. One of the biggest structural flaws of education in America lies within the lack of options for students. Public schools are a chain of an American-run monopoly in which there is no incentive to compete and recruit children. Rather, children are assigned to their district school without the ability to decide whether that's the school they and their family want them to attend. Mark Sanford, South Carolina governor, proposed the idea of letting parents choose their school in 2007 in order to improve education in South Carolina. Sadly, his plan lost by legislators voting 60 to 53. Though Sanford's idea was once unthinkable, it is possible. Choosing is the key to improving American education, which is proved by Belgium schools, which have already adopted this. The profession of being a teacher is not looked up to as much as it should. Teachers are the most important factor in a student's education. The quality of the teacher dictates the student's future academic abilities and sometimes even their career choice. It is fit that teaching professions be as valued as much as a doctor or an engineer's. Giving out more teacher scholarships and raising teacher salaries would be the most effective way in assuring that the professions are more fortified. There is a lack of communication between students and teachers. A student-teacher relationship can very well determine how successful a child is in the classroom. A student is most often going to clam up if they dislike the teacher or simply cannot understand his or her techniques. A student will not be involved in the material and will avoid asking questions if they are not comfortable with the teacher. Short and efficient student-teacher conferences should be held before or after school to encourage a healthy student-teacher relationship. These conferences should discuss things like difficulties in the classroom or even ways to improve the classroom environment. K-12 education should be openly communicated and discussed through communities. Parents and families should be aware of how education is working for their child and what they can do to help. The community of a school should thrive by connecting with the teachers and the families. Other fun events and activities should be held to welcome social bonding, especially in high school where families stop getting involved in their children's school. There is a difference between enforcing material and busy work. A large amount of homework is directly linked with lower test scores. Students should not have hours of homework after a tedious day of school and instead be able to enjoy more leisure time for sport activities, time with their family, etc. Teachers would be encouraged not to give more than 10 to 20 minutes of homework to their students per night. This is crucial, especially in high school where students' work could quickly amount to hours. Better Education for Future Americans organization would use peaceful political and social tactics. We would raise awareness of our goals to schools through social media, assemblies at schools, and even community events. To achieve stopping the American monopoly over public schools, we would peacefully protest, lobby, and petition our way into big law reform for the quality of our schools. In addition, Befao would raise money for teacher scholarships, for example, by organizing family picnics and movie nights at school. Our major strategy is to spread information on how to help the cause of education. Bill Gates and his wife, Melinda Gates, run the Gates Foundation and the project's K-12 education and their post-secondary success program. The K-12 education focuses on ensuring that students leave prepared to college. The post-secondary success program aims to increase the number of people who obtain a post-secondary degree or certificate with a labor market value. Bill Gates fits into a potential leader because of his philanthropy, as well as his effort to help students benefit from a quality education. Nobel Prize winner at only 16 and women's rights activist Malala started fighting for women's education in Pakistan early in her life. Malala was targeted by the Taliban as an education activist and was sent several death threats. She was shot in the head while driving home from school in 2012. She was only 15 years old. After surviving the attack, she wrote her biography, I Am Malala. In 2015, Malala took action to open a school for Syrian refugee girls in Lebanon. Malala is deeply involved in education and has even spoken about the wrong spending of money on militia instead of education. She continues to fight for education today. Emma took high school equivalency exams and made high scores in every subject. Watson took a year off from school to film the final 2 Harry Potter movies, but maintained that she was committed to furthering her education. Maintaining her commitment to her education, Watson enrolled as a freshman at Brown University in Providence, Rhode Island in the fall of 2009. She graduated from Brown in 2014 with an English degree. That same year, she was appointed a UN Women Goodwill Ambassador. She continues to speak out for women's rights and equality. Overall, Watson is a multitasking individual who did not sacrifice her studies in order to achieve her dreams and knows how to create a label and brand for herself. Potential roadblocks to Befao would be money, but also the underestimation of the impact teachers and students can make to their education. We are prepared to have schools discourage our movement because we would be ready to fight back. Go. The sun is out and we're doing just fine. The problem is that students are confined. The sun is out and I'm doing just fine. The problem. Oh, girl.